Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed lunch and had the chance to connect with at least one other generation. Now I have the wonderful job to energize you with some data. Each year, the Nuremberg Institute for Market Decision, together with the St. Gallen Symposium, publishes the so-called Voices of the Leaders of Tomorrow report. This report provides exclusive insights into the perspective of over 800 leaders of tomorrow from our global community, and compares them with the views of close to 300 senior leaders from worldwide companies on this year's topic of shifting global power. One of the key findings? Young and experienced executives have quite different expectations about our future. You see it right here on our screen. Close to 70% of our future leaders believe that insufficient climate action will lead to severe environmental degradation and uncertainty, to compared 44% of the senior executives who share this concern. Further, 61% of the leaders of tomorrow worry that fragmented and unpredictable regulations regarding technology, data, and sustainability will hamper progress, while just 37% of the senior leaders see this as a major risk. And thirdly, 60% of the young leaders are concerned that slow and uncoordinated energy transitions will increase costs and risks, while only 38% of the senior executives. What do we do with these results? This generational divide underscores the urgent need for dialogue and action to reduce the gap between hope and concern. If you're interested to read more about this interesting study, please find some copies on display in our main building's foyer. We are very honored to welcome now a very special guest from the world's most youthful continent, Africa. He has decided to join us here in St. Gallen. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome Ndaba Gaolathe, Vice President and Minister of Finance, Republic of Botswana, here in St. Gallen. Thank you very much.
The distinguished, beautiful, and marvelous young people of St. Gallen, and the distinguished, not so young people here today. There are moments in history when the world must listen, not just to the loudest voices, but to the wisest. I bring to you warm greetings of the President of Botswana, Duma Gideon Boko, and the people of Botswana, a nation rooted in peace, driven by vision and anchored in principle. Thank you to the organizers of St. Gallen Symposium for convening this gathering of hearts and minds across generations and geographies to reflect, to dream, to shape a more humane global order. It is with deep admiration that I stand before you today in a land that reflects many of the values we seek to nurture, a country where excellence, discipline, and vision have shaped a nation of rare character, Switzerland. The Swiss story offers valuable lessons, a nation that has long resisted the pull of conformity and preserved its voice of reason, a people who have protected the heritage not as a relic of the past, but as a compass for the future. Yesterday, we visited Abbey Library of St. Gallen. Surrounded by centuries of thought, I was reminded of the philosophical echoes of Locke and Descartes, voices that urge us still to think, to question, and to build wisely for those who come after us. The visit reminded me of our moral obligation to serve humanity with both humility and distinction. The Swiss have managed the preservation of a legacy, a culture, and a soul that spans centuries. This alone is a quiet act of leadership. And here in Switzerland, culture is not commodified, but celebrated as evident in the art of cheesemaking, the discipline of precision engineering, the stewardship of multilateral diplomacy. Switzerland suggests that profitability and principle can coexist, that markets built on respect and enduring values can elevate the human condition. These are the quiet virtues that do not dominate the headlines, yet they sustain harmony. Virtues that Africa too, carries, and which we must now summon for a world in flux. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the youthful and the not so youthful, we gather here to confront one of the great questions of our era. As a global power shifts towards multipolarity and uncertainty, what force will hold the center? We meet at a moment when the ground beneath the global order is shifting. It's shifting economically, technologically, and geopolitically. The pillars of multilateral cooperation are under strain. Nationalist sentiment is on the rise. The very architecture of global unity is being tested by waves of profound change. In this era of global fragmentation, amidst some setbacks and breakthroughs, Africa is daring to chart a different course, one of unity. And while others drift apart, we are choosing to come together. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement is a bold declaration of belief that Africa's destiny rests in deeper integration, in bold innovation, and purposeful collaboration. Africa has long been a continent of commerce, not only in goods, but in ideas, in values, and in ingenuity. I submit to you that not enough is said about what should be a proud African history. In Southern Africa, the 14th, 17th to 17th century Monomotapa civilization rose with brilliance and elegance as people built a thriving society rooted in commerce, intellect, in sovereignty, exchanging gold and ivory with the wider world. This was not a passive exchange, but a manifestation of a people in full command of their agency and aspirations. Therefore, the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, with it, we are not inventing a new Africa. We are both remembering who we are and reimagining what we can become. A people of balance, reciprocity, and relationship. Not just as market builders, but bridge builders. Today's Africa is rediscovering that the spirit, through innovation hubs, fintech ecosystems, and a new generation of entrepreneurs, are redefining our place in the global economy. In this spirit, Africa is stepping into its role, not just as a participant in the global affairs, but as a co-author of global solutions. We are defining new rules, not to mimic the past models, but to propose better ones. Trade is not merely an engine of growth. It must be a tool for justice, a tool for inclusive prosperity. Trade, when governed by fairness and inclusivity, restores balance And because we trade in a spirit of equity, we do more than just create profit. We expand the curve of possibility for entire nations and entire communities. Africa holds 30% of the world's critical minerals, from lithium, cobalt, copper, the very elements that fuel the energy transition. Yet too often, we export raw materials but import the true costs as pollution, debt, and lost opportunity. It is time to move from extraction to transformation, to grow value at home and to share value abroad. And as the continent moves forward in unity, Botswana steps forth with resolve, translating Africa's grand vision into grounded, tangible transformation. Friends, Botswana has for decades been a quiet story of stability and stewardship. We built one of Africa's most admired democracies and economies. Our mineral wealth, prudently managed, gave us the foundation to educate our people, to build roads, and to preserve peace. But we know and we accept that with courage of realism, that mineral-led economic model that served us so well in the past will not carry us into the next chapter. The future we now seek demands a new architecture, a new economic imagination, one that is knowledge-based, one that is technologically enabled, one that is globally integrated. Botswana has begun a bold transformation, not out of necessity alone, but out of vision. Botswana is reimagining itself not as a landlocked state, but as a land-linked catalyst. We envision a country that becomes the logistics capital and hub of Southern Africa, a future where the cities of Johannesburg, Harare, Lusaka and Windhoek, and Gaborone are stitched together by seamless corridors of railroad and data. In the new Botswana, borders are not barriers, but bridges and gateways to regional markets and conduits of shared prosperity. Our state-owned enterprises are being revitalized to become dynamic engines of innovation, competitiveness, and inclusive growth. We are aligning them with the ambitions of a new Botswana and the realities of a rapidly evolving global economy. This revitalization includes scaling some entities through strategic partnerships and reforming others to meet emerging needs. In the energy sector, for instance, we are overhauling legislation to unbundle generation from transmission. With one of the highest solar radiation levels in the world, Botswana is uniquely poised to become a continental leader in solar energy generation, as well as in everything solar and renewable. We are actively expanding the solar energy infrastructure with several significant projects underway. In our journey to become Africa's premier financial gateway, Botswana positions its international financial services sector as a channel for capital flows into SADC region and the wider continent, anchored in a stable macroeconomic environment, prudent fiscal stewardship, and one of the highest sovereign credit ratings in Africa. The IFSC offers a compelling platform for international financial services. A recent milestone in this journey is in the signing of an MOU with Luxembourg, a globally respected financial center. This strategic partnership lays the groundwork for deeper collaboration and cooperation in the financial sector development, regulatory alignment, capital market innovation, and knowledge exchange. It signals Botswana's intent to lead as an emerging financial services hub on the African continent. Distinguished guests, Botswana is home to one of the most successful and enduring public-private partnerships in modern economic history. The professors should write this down. Our relationship with the BS Group for over 5 decades, this unique collaboration has turned diamonds from mere minerals into national progress, fueling infrastructure, education, and healthcare while maintaining peace and transparency. This partnership has shown to the world that when governments and investors work in principled alignment, economic transformation becomes inevitable. It is the spirit of partnership that we extend to the world. Botswana is open for business, ready to co-create, and poised to deliver enduring value for generations to come. And a little bit of gossip. We, as the new Botswana, have actually sat down and asked ourselves the question, what type of partner are we looking for as a government, as institutions, and as communities? And here is our answer. We are looking for partners who want to be in it with us for the long term. We are looking for partners with insights and experiences that we don't have, but which insights and experiences add value to our journey. And this third one makes me a little embarrassed. We are looking for partners, ladies and gentlemen, with deep pockets. And finally, we are looking for partners that want to be associated with who we are, that want to be associated with our beautiful songs and our beautiful dances, who want to be associated with our golden sunrises and our golden sunsets, who want to be associated with the white-headed and the gray-headed herons of the Okavango and the egrets of the Okavango, who want to be associated with our savanna lands, with our zebras and elephants and lions, who want to be associated with our baobab trees and mopani trees, who want to be associated with our warmth, with the way we smile, with the way we walk, who want to be associated with the beauty of our culture and the beauty of our people. I said that was a bit of gossip. So we are positioning key sectors such as agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, healthcare, information technology, AI, and mineral beneficiation to be the engines of inclusive growth, dignified employment, and innovation. But beyond infrastructure and industry, what we are building truly is belief, a new ethos of citizenship, a new ethos of partnership, a new ethos of shared destiny. We are asking the world to partner with us, not just in resource flows, but in knowledge and research, in ideas. Let us develop together green infrastructure. Let us create together digital identity platforms that empower the excluded. Let us build together climate action grounded in justice and measurable results. Ladies, young ladies, and young men, not so young men, and not so young ladies, we began with a question. What force will hold the center amidst the turbulence of a changing world? My answer, your answer, our answer is simple. Principle. Principle. Quiet, steady, radiant principle. This is the compass of a new world order. In an age of shifting powers and fragile alliances, it is not force or fear that will endure, but the courage to stand for what is just, what is dignified, what is life-giving, and what is sustainable. Principle. Let us rise together, not as competitors in crisis, but as collaborators in renewal. Botswana stands firm in this belief. Thank you.